everybody, it's me again. So today I'm going to teach you how to play Wicked Game in the way that I play it. Yesterday I did my version of it, so you can either play along with me or sing along with me, or you can learn my version and then play along with yourself, depending on how confident you're feeling or ready to go off on your own and play things. So Wicked Game really is 3 chords played all the way through, and technically what I'm playing, the chords that I am actually making the sounds of, would be E minor, D and A, which you might think are quite simple chords, so why is she not playing those? It was a bit of a long story, but basically I didn't want to play B minor, which is the chord in the original version by Chris Isaak, and I ended up putting a capo on 5, and I still had to play B minor with that, and then somebody said to me, why don't you just move the capo up to capo 7 and then you can play A minor, G and D. So that's what I did, and for some reason I decided to stick with that version. I just feel it works somehow with my playing and singing. So but you can play with the proper chords if you want to, and I'll show you how to play those chords. But first of all, I'll show you how to play the chords that I'm playing, the chord shapes I should say. So the first one is A minor, so that one sounds like this, or like that. As I play at the beginning of the song, I pluck the strings like that with my thumb and these 3 fingers. So A minor, you put your first finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd or your B string, so that's there. Sorry, I should say that this is with capo 7. If I didn't already say that, I might have already said that. Anyway, so this is your first finger on your 1st fret of the B string, and then you want to put your 2nd finger, this finger, on the 2nd fret of the D string, or the 4th string up, so that's that one there. And then you want to put your 3rd finger directly underneath that, so on the 2nd fret, but of your G string, so that's the 3rd string up from the bottom, and altogether that sounds like this. Remember, you don't play your bottom E string for A minor shape. And then to play G, you want to put your 2nd finger this time on the A string, so that's your 5th string up from the bottom, on the 2nd fret, so that's there. And then your 3rd finger wants to go on your bottom E string of the 3rd fret, and then you want to put your little finger on your top E string on the 3rd fret. So altogether that sounds like this, or like this when you pluck it all together. And then your final chord for this version is your D shaped chord. So for that chord you only want to play your top 4 strings like that, and and you want to put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd or your G string. You want to put your 2nd finger directly underneath that but 2 strings away, so on your top E on the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger wants to go to make a sort of triangle shape on the B string on the 3rd fret. So that's the 3 chords that I play all the way through the song, and they just keep repeating, and at some points you'll hear, if you listen to my version, that I'm either plucking all the strings together or I'm doing finger picking, and so I will show you how to do the finger picking pattern that I do after I've shown you how to play without a capo, i.e. with the proper chord. So as I said, the proper chords that you would be playing for this song are E minor, D and A. So if you wanted to play along with my version and in the same key, you could quite easily play over the top of my version with these chords, and it would sound right. So for the first chord, that's E minor, so that's like that. So you want to put your 2nd finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger just goes directly underneath that on your D string. You see that? On the 2nd fret again. So that's E minor. And then D is exactly the same as I showed you with the capo, but uncapoed and down here. So you want your 1st finger on your G string on the 2nd fret. Your 2nd finger wants to go directly below that 2 strings away on your top E string on the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger wants to go there, which is on your 3rd fret of your B string. And then your final chord is A. So for A, it's kind of tucking all your fingers, your 3 fingers together, using your little finger as well, one on top of the other. Some people like to play this with using a bar chord, but as you probably know from my other videos, I'm not the fondest person of bar chords, so I choose to stack my fingers instead. So you want to put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your D string, and then your 2nd finger wants to go directly below that, on the string below that, and that is on your G string. And then your 3rd finger wants to go directly beneath that on your 2nd or your B string. And again, you don't play the top or the bottom E string in that chord, so you want to play your top 5 strings, and that's A. So now I'm going to teach you how to do the picking pattern that I use. For this one, it's quite a similar one to one of the other songs that I play earlier, but you have a sort of almost like a little breather with one of the strings that you sort of take a little breath or a little gap between plucking some of the strings. So to use the A minor in the example, you want to pluck, and I'm going to say this again to remind people or tell people who haven't watched the other videos. When you fingerpick, you want to put your 3 fingers, these 3 middle fingers here, you want to put those so that they rest always on your top 3 strings. That just makes it really much easier for you to remember which string you're plucking at any one time, because you're sort of feeling the strings without thinking about it once you get into a routine of being able to fingerpick. And then your thumb will play either one of the bottom 3 strings depending on which chord you're playing. So for A minor, we use the thumb to play your A string. So this pattern goes like this. So you may or may not have noticed the gap there, but it's at this point. So we go, so it's when we get down to or up to the top E string. So you want to press pluck the thumb on the 5th string on your A string to start off with. Then your first finger plucks your G string, and then your second finger plucks the B string or the 2nd string, and then your third finger plucks the top E string, and then that's where your little gap comes in. It's a bit like an imaginary part where you would play another note in there, but it just kind of, it sort of seems to work with this song, giving it a little bit of a breath. You can always choose to add that extra note in there, and you can choose a different picking pattern if you don't like this one, but this is the one that I'm doing. So when you get up to your E string, then you go back, and you go back to your second finger on your B string, and then you go back again to your first finger on your G string, and then finally you go back to the B string again with your second finger. So slowly it goes. And so that's how to play the finger picking pattern on the A minor shape. Now for the G, you just do exactly the same, except that your thumb will pluck the top or the bottom, I should say, E string. So that sounds like this. And exactly the same with the D, except with the D you pluck your 4th or your D string with your thumb. Now you might notice sometimes in the song I mix it up a little bit, and I add the A string into the mix on the D when I'm about to change back to the A minor chord, and you don't have to do that, but it just ended up sounding how I wanted it to, so that's what I do, but you can mix it up however you want to, really. So the only thing really left to say about this song is where those chords sort of fit in and how the plucking comes into it, as opposed to the just plucking like that. Then you've got your finger picking that comes in halfway through, and then it goes back out again and back in again. So what I do is that I play the first verse and the first chorus all this way. So to illustrate it through the song, it goes. So that's your intro, and then you go into that again. That again. And then when you go with you, you go into the picking pattern. With you. Game to play to make me feel this way. So that's the second verse. Into the chorus. With you. And then take a breath, and then go back into the plucking of the strings again. And that's for the first two lines of the third verse. And then I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. Oh no. And then into the chorus again. And I've embellished the ending, so I kind of extend the with you part and sort of go off into the ether a little bit. And then when it comes to the last part, it goes into nobody loves no one. And that's that's how I play Wicked Game. Hope you enjoyed that, guys, and hope you'll have a go at it yourselves.